Bumblesnort, nicknamed Mad Owl, was a strange and fun creature from Lemuria. It had feathers colored in all the colors of the rainbow, and a large, round eye that always wandered in the right direction. Bumblesnort was known for his chaotic flights and his ability to weave words together in a funny and unexpected way. Bumblesnort's story. In Lemuria, there was an annual poetry competition where the world's most talented poets participated. That year, everyone was eager to see who would take the title of Master of Verses. Bumblesnort, while not a poet in the traditional sense, had a unique talent for weaving words together in hilarious and surprising ways. He decided to enter the competition and bring a splash of color and fun to the world of poetry. As the day of the competition approached, Bumblesnort prepared the funniest and most unexpected poems he could imagine. It had lyrics about owls dancing on sugar clouds and singing cuckoos in the language of cats. Even the other poets were amused and amazed by his creativity and spontaneity. When it was his turn to take the stage, Bumblesnort made a spectacular entrance, flying around the room in a chaotic dance. He started reciting his funny lines, and the audience laughed heartily and enjoyed his wonderful creativity. At the end of the competition, although Bumblesnort did not win the title of Master of Verse, he was recognized as the Master of Poetic Chaos. Cleopanthera, nicknamed the Feline Queen, was an elegant and confident cat from ancient Egypt. He had fur as black as night and wise and mysterious eyes. Cleopanthera was known for her ability to win people's hearts with her regal charm and her unusual fascination with fried fish. The story of Cleopanthera. In ancient Egypt, Cleopanthera was looked upon with admiration and respect by other cats. He had an unusual passion for fried fish and was always on the lookout for the best and most delicious fish in the whole country. Intrigued by legends about a magical fried fish hidden in an ancient temple, Cleopanthera decided to go on an adventurous journey to find it. Accompanied by a group of wise and brave feline friends, she began her quest through the temples and pyramids of Egypt. During their journey, Cleopanthera and her friends encountered all kinds of challenges: dangerous traps, underground labyrinths, and wizards who tried to prevent them from reaching the desired treasure. With her regal grace and charm, Cleopanthera was able to charm those she met and win their aid. Cleopanthera made a triumphant return to ancient Egypt, bearing the title of Feline Queen of Fried Fish. Felines from all over the kingdom came to admire her and ask for advice on the best methods of preparing fried fish. Cleopanthera became a legend and was worshipped as a feline goddess throughout the land. Luminostra, also known as the Cake Goddess, was a jovial and energetic goddess from the legends of Olympus. She was always depicted carrying a huge cake in her hand, and the flames from the cake gave off a playful and funny glow. Luminostra was known for its ability to light up even the darkest corners of the world and bring joy and warmth to everyone's hearts. The story of Luminostra. In mythical times, Luminostra was loved and revered by people for its gift of bringing light and warmth into their lives. She traveled the world carrying her giant torch and lit candles in every home, leaving a smile on everyone's faces. One day, Luminostra received a special mission from the other Olympian gods. He was to travel to a distant and dark land to bring light and hope where it was most needed. With his torch in hand and a bright smile on his face, Luminostra set off on his adventure. On her journey, she encountered fantastical creatures and terrifying beings who tried to extinguish her flame. But Luminostra was not discouraged. With each step, the flames in her torch burned and glowed even brighter, bringing light and joy to the darkness. As she neared her destination, Luminostra felt warmth and hope rise within her. When he reached the dark realm, he raised his torch and flashed a light so bright that the whole place was flooded with its glow. The dark creatures were driven away, and the people of that region were filled with joy and hope. Luminostra became a beloved deity in that realm and throughout the world. The Cake Goddess remained a source of light and joy in the mythological world, bringing brightness and warmth to the lives of all who called upon her for help. Aquaros, also known as the Goddess of the Ocean, was a glamorous goddess with a unique style, always dressed here in a shiny metallic blue suit. She had red hair that braided and curled in a mysterious and beautiful way. Aquaros was associated with the element of water and lived in the heart of the ocean, where she was surrounded by funny and friendly sea creatures. Aquaros's story. In the depths of the seas, there was an enchanted underwater kingdom where the gods and goddesses of the ocean lived. Aquaros was one of the most playful and adventurous goddesses, always looking for new stories and friends. One day, Aquaros set out on a journey through the seas of the world to discover new places and meet fascinating creatures. She had donned her metallic blue suit and braided her red hair into a style reminiscent of ocean waves. As she ventured through the depths, Aquaros met playful dolphins who joined her journey, and surfer sharks who taught her how to ride the ocean waves. Together, they explored colorful coral reefs and discovered exotic fish that sang underwater. One day, while on their way to a secret archipelago, Aquaros and her friends were caught in a strong storm. With her water goddess abilities, Aquaros used her power to calm the storm and save her friends. Eventually, Aquaros and her team reached the secret archipelago, where they found a garden of luminous algae and met friendly mermaids who gave them underwater concerts. Aquaros and her friends danced and sang together, bringing joy and magic to the underwater world. Aquaros became a beloved goddess in the Ocean Kingdom, and people brought her offerings of coral and seashells to thank her for the beauty and charm she brought to their world. The goddess of the ocean continued to spread joy and bring smiles to the lives of all who sought adventure and magic in the seas. Citrine, also known as the Freckled Princess, was a cheerful and charming goddess in ancient Rome. He had freckles on his face, which were scattered like stars in the night sky. She wore her hair in a sophisticated bun and wore sparkling citrine earrings in her ears. Citrine was associated with the radiance of the sun and enveloped the world in a warm and enchanting aura. Citrina's story. In the ancient city of Rome, Citrina was regarded as a charming princess and adored by all the inhabitants. She always wore bright earrings and pendants that exuded an allegro energy and unusual charm. One day, Citrina was called by the gods of Olympus to join a special competition where she had to demonstrate her charm and unique talent. Without hesitation, she pulled her freckled hair into a sleek bun and accessorized her sparkling outfit with sparkling citrine earrings and pendants. The competition was organized in front of a large and enthusiastic audience. Citrina appeared in a wave of brilliance and began to dance with grace and elegance. Her every move radiated charm and joy, and the audience was mesmerized by her beauty and grandeur. As she danced, Citrina threw a glowing pendant into the air, which turned the stage into a veritable fireworks display. His circle of citrines unfolded around her, creating a dazzling play of lights and colors. The audience erupted in applause and cheers, admiring the beauty and talent of the freckled goddess. At the end of the competition, Citrina was declared the Queen of Charm and was honored as a princess in ancient Rome. People adored her for her charming freckles and the positive energy she exuded. Citrine has remained in people's hearts as a symbol of the beauty and radiant charm of ancient Rome. Malakisha, also known as the Malachite moon goddess, was a wise and mysterious goddess. He had a unique appearance with the full moon stylized on the left side of his face, shining with the silvery light of the moon. Her white hair, caught in an elegant bun, contrasted with the bright youthful skin that preserved her dazzling beauty. From her bun, from her third eye, hung a malachite gemstone that emanated magical energy. Malachidia wore a necklace with mysterious hieroglyphs that gave her magical powers, and around her neck she had a pendant with a large malachite stone which made her beloved by all who looked at her. The story of Malakisha. Malakisha was worshipped in ancient Egypt as a goddess of the moon and wisdom. She kept deep secrets and was respected by all for her wisdom and magical powers. During the reign of Pharaoh Ramses, Malakisha was called upon to offer important advice in a time of crisis. With the moon shining on her face, she left her secret sanctuary and appeared before the pharaoh and his entire court. People bowed before her, amazed by her beauty and the wisdom that shone in her bright eyes. Pharaohs and nobles fell in love because of her beauty and grace. Malakisha used her magical powers and profound knowledge to give wise counsel to the pharaoh and guide him in making the right decisions. Using the energy of the third eye malachite and the power of the hieroglyph necklace, she brought peace and understanding to the entire kingdom. Malakitia's story has lived on in the legends of ancient Egypt, and people continue to fall in love with her beauty and wisdom. Malachite has remained a symbol of wisdom and magical power, being adored and revered as a goddess of the moon and love throughout the ages. Ignatia, also known as the goddess of the divine fire, was a goddess full of passion and power. On her forehead shone a deep red gemstone called the ruby, which symbolized its fiery energy. He wore a flaming red suit representing the power and intensity of divine fire. In her hand she held a scepter with a stylized cross on the end, and from this, Kundalini energy materialized in the form of divine fire. Ignatia's story. Ignatia was revered in an ancient civilization for her power over the divine fire element and ability to bring passion and transformation to the world. She was considered a goddess of creative energy and inner strength. One day, the people of that civilization witnessed an extraordinary event. Ignatia, dressed in her flaming red costume, raised the scepter in her hand and summoned the Kundalini energy from the depths of the earth. Divine fire began to materialize, embracing her and hungering for the sky. People were stunned by the beauty and intensity of the divine fire that surrounded Ignatia. Every spark and flame exudes passion and inner strength. The goddess began to dance with fire, and swirls of vibrantly colored flames formed around her, lighting up the entire landscape. As she danced, Ignatia inspired people to discover their own inner fire and unleash their creative potential. Through her fiery energy, she offered the power to transform and renovate, to burn away old habits and open the way to a brighter and more passionate future. Ignatia was recognized as the goddess of divine fire and was worshipped and revered by people as a source of inspiration and inner strength. The rubies on her forehead were considered symbols of passion and creative power. The legend of Ignatia has lived on in the myths and traditions of ancient civilization, inspiring people to find their own inner spark and ignite the flame of transformation in their lives. Azura, also known as the blue goddess of mystery, was an enigmatic and powerful goddess. He had bright blue eyes that reflected the depths of the starry sky. She wore sparkling earrings with a blue gemstone called a sapphire that sparkled in the mystical light. Her suit was a special metallic, similar to a knight's suit in shades of blue and silver, suggesting nobility and power. Near her heart and solar plexus, she had two bright blue gemstones that symbolized wisdom and balance. He wore a magical hat that gave him supernatural powers, and on his shoulders he carried forgotten ancient hieroglyphs that hid undiscovered secrets and mysteries. Azura's story. Azura was worshipped in an ancient civilization as a goddess of mystery and hidden knowledge. People adored her for her wise blue eyes and her mystical aura. Once upon a moonlit night, Azura came down to Earth to offer her gifts to mankind. Surrounded by ancient hieroglyphs on her shoulders and with her magical hat, she was recognized as a goddess of mysteries and seekers of truth. People came before her, eager to know the hidden secrets and knowledge. Azura shone before them, the sapphires in her earrings and the blue stones in her heart, and solar plexus shining like stars in the dark. During her time on Earth, Azura released hidden knowledge and opened the gates to the mystical world. The hieroglyphs on the shoulders came to life and offered clues and guidance to the mysteries of the universe. People received her gifts with joy and gratitude, learning to travel the hidden paths of knowledge and explore the mysteries of the world. Azura was recognized as the goddess of mystery and hidden knowledge. People brought her offerings of sapphires and asked for her blessing to seek understanding and truth in their lives. The blue goddess of mystery has remained a symbol of deep knowledge and seekers of truth, inspiring people to explore their own inner mysteries and travel the untrodden paths of knowledge. Radius, also known as the radiant god of power, was an imposing and brilliant god. He wore shining armor made of gold that protected his body during battles. The black cape he wears had magical powers and symbolized his divine mystery and authority. In the pool area, his armor was made of titanium, giving him the strength and protection needed in battle. In his hand, he held a special weapon called the atom breaker, which emitted subatomic rays similar to the radioactive core in nuclear power plants, disarming opponents and neutralizing their powers. Radius's story. Radius was revered as a god of power and protection in an ancient world. He was called upon to intervene in epic battles between gods and mythical creatures, using his unusual powers to maintain balance and justice. In one of his famous battles, Radius was challenged by a fierce opponent named Morlock, who possessed terrifying supernatural powers. Morlock wanted to conquer the world and establish a new dark order. As the battle began, Radius donned his shining armor and donned his black cape, the symbol of his power and authority. Morlock attacked with all his fury, but Radius was able to protect himself with his titanium armor, which deflected the enemy blows. With his special weapon, the Atom Breaker, Radius emitted devastating subatomic rays, similar to the radioactive core in nuclear power plants. The rays disarmed Morlock and nullified his evil powers. In the end, Radius defeated the Morlock and restored peace and order to the world. The fight between Radius and Morlock went down in history as an epic confrontation between good and evil, light and dark. The radiant god of power was recognized as a symbol of courage and justice, and remained revered and worshipped by the people as a divine protector and ruler. Thus, Radius continued to guard the world from the forces of darkness, and engage in legendary battles using his shining armor, black cape, and special weapon to bring hope and protection in the face of threats. Lithara, also known as the goddess of Wisdom Stone, was an imposing and mysterious goddess. Her appearance was unique. She was like white stone, emanating a brilliant light. It had large bat-like wings that gave it grace and freedom. On his head he wore small devil-like horns, symbolizing power and protection. Her tail was dragon-like, suggesting an element of mystery and wisdom. Her clothing was scanty as it symbolized her divine nature, and allowed her to better connect with cosmic energy and the earth. Lithara's story. Lithara was worshipped in the ancient world as a goddess of wisdom and deep knowledge. She was associated with the white stone, which symbolized purity and clarity of thoughts. Lithara traveled the world, bringing light and wisdom where it was needed. Her bat-like wings helped her to fly above the heights, having a wider perspective on life in the universe. The small devilish horns offered him protection as he ventured into the dark and mysterious places. Her dragon-like tail reminded people of her strength and wisdom, bringing with it a mystical and fascinating element. Lithara's scanty clothing was a conscious choice, as it allowed her to connect more deeply with cosmic energy and the earth. She could sense energy flows and access universal knowledge through the white stone she was made of. People revered Lithara for her profound wisdom and her ability to provide guidance and understanding in times of uncertainty. She was considered a divine guide and a source of inspiration for all seekers of truth. Lithara's story has gone down in history as an epic of inner search and enlightenment. The Wisdom Stone goddess was worshipped and revered by the people as a divine presence who gave them knowledge and clarity. Lithara continued to travel the world offering her light and connecting people to their divine essence to discover their own potential and live wise and understanding lives.